I got a pretty good one here.
Hit me.
What are the most common mistakes you see construction clients making that you wish you could spare them from?
That's a great question, Claiborne. And one thing that I've heard a lot recently that's come up with clients all in every industry, but especially construction, is really two things. And they're sort of correlated, but one is assuming that your kids want to take on your business when you're ready to retire. And number two, that if it's not your children, that it's your employees, and people assuming that those employees are entrepreneurial, that they want to take on all of the risks that are associated with owning any business, but especially a construction business. When you start talking about signing indemnities on bonds and personal guarantees on lines of credit and SDI and all those sorts of things, when the rubber meets the road and you start getting ready to transition the business to either your kids or to employees, and you get to the signing table on that first bond that comes up, and they realize what they're about to do, and they sign that indemnity. Mm-hmm. And I've had a couple of instances where people thought they had a succession plan in place, and it just kind of fell apart at the last minute, and then you have to start over, and it's a long process. Mm-hmm. So my advice would be, don't make assumptions, and also leave yourself a long runway mm-hmm. within your succession plan to be able to adjust on the fly. And the other thing I would say too is, make sure that you're educating those folks early and often in the process. And that's something that we help a lot of clients do often, is come in and just sit down and educate them. Okay, well, here's what it really means to own a business, mm-hmm. And just kind of going through all those things and acting as an outlet for people to raise issues, fears, concerns. We've even educated spouses before of owners that are going to be transitioning businesses, because that ultimately at the end of the day, they have to be able to explain this to their spouse. And so, really just going through a long process of educating early on and making sure everybody knows what it really means.
Yeah, I think that brings to mind, you also don't want to disrupt your surety relationship. So, the longer runway you have to sort of transition these new owners in, it's going to make your surety a little bit more comfortable with it than all of a sudden just boom, the main owner who you've been dealing with, who has the great reputation, skills, know-how, is just out of the picture. That can create some disruption in your bonding capacity. So the longer you can give yourself to make that transition happen, the better.
Right. Yeah, and that goes along too with most of the times when we're helping clients with succession plans, that retiring owner wants to literally do that. They want to retire and go home and take their risk off the table. And if they're the ones that have been personally guaranteeing their debt and their bonds, you've got to get that. You got to get those other stakeholders comfortable, and you've got to get those incoming shareholders' personal financial statements in good enough shape that you can actually make that transition happen on a timeline that everybody's happy with. Mm-hmm. The construction industry, it's just not as simple as selling your business to a private equity fund and riding off into the sunset, mm-hmm. unfortunately.
Yep.